In 1513, a broken and exiled diplomat named Niccolò Machiavelli sat down in the quiet of the Italian countryside to write a letter to the future. A letter so disturbing that the church banned it, kings condemned it, and his very name became a synonym for the devil for the next 500 years. But he didn't get that reputation because he was lying. He got it because he was uncomfortably, undeniably right. He pulled back the curtain on the fundamental human psychology that is operating in every room you walk into, every relationship you hold dear, and every interaction you have with your colleagues, your family, and even your partner. Once you see what he actually documented, you will never see people the same way again. You'll never be blindsided by betrayal again, not because you've become a villain, but because you finally understand the self-interested nature that exists in every human heart, including yours. The people who condemned Machiavelli were often the ones using his techniques most effectively, while pretending to operate from nobler principles. Think about the friend who vanished the moment your life got difficult, or the partner whose eternal love evaporated when your circumstances changed. Machiavelli wasn't being cynical. He was documenting pattern recognition that has operated for thousands of years. He wrote from a place of exile and torture that men are ungrateful, fickle, false, and cowardly. He observed that as long as you succeed, they are yours entirely. They will offer you their blood, their property, and their children when the need is far distant. But the moment real trouble approaches, they turn against you. Notice the resistance that comes up when you hear that. That voice saying, "My people aren't like that." That is exactly what Machiavelli predicted. He knew that humans are extraordinarily skilled at maintaining public performances of virtue while operating privately from pure self-interest. To prove he was right, run a simple thought experiment. Imagine you lose everything today: your money, your status, your health, your looks. You become a burden rather than a benefit. How many people stay? That small, uncomfortable number is the truth about human loyalty. Everyone else is there for what you provide, not who you are. Machiavelli identified 3 core truths that operate beneath the surface of our lives. First, people stay for benefits, not bonds. Affection is what people feel when you benefit them. Respect is what they show when you prove you won't tolerate poor treatment. In your job, your employer doesn't keep you because they value your soul. They keep you because replacing you costs more than retaining you. The moment that calculation inverts, you are gone. Second, people test your boundaries constantly. Humans are wired to maximize benefit and conserve energy, which means they will take as much as you allow them to take. If you forgive every disrespect, you aren't being kind. You are training people that your boundaries are negotiable. Machiavelli famously said, "It is better to be feared than loved," not because you should be a tyrant, but because love is a feeling people change when it's convenient, whereas respect for your boundaries is a calculation they cannot ignore. Third, attraction dies without strategic distance. Complete accessibility destroys value. In our modern rush to be totally transparent, we often eliminate the very mystery and independence that made us attractive in the first place. The person who is always available becomes a utility. The person who maintains their own life and priorities remains a separate entity worth engaging with. To transform your life with these insights, you have to stop being a naive victim and start being a strategic realist. It begins with a relationship audit, honestly assessing what exchange is sustaining your connections. It requires enforcing real consequences, not just stating them. If someone cancels on you repeatedly, the consequence isn't a long talk about your feelings. It's the withdrawal of your presence. By maintaining genuine independence, you ensure that you are a complete person rather than an extension of someone else. This doesn't make you heartless. It makes you capable of building relationships that actually last because they are based on reality rather than romantic delusions. Machiavelli died broke and slandered, but his map of the human psyche has survived for half a millennium because the territory hasn't changed. You can keep wandering blindly, hoping people will be better than their nature. Or you can accept these truths and build a life where you are respected, valued, and never again a victim of your own wishful thinking. Welcome to reality. It's less comfortable than the fairy tale, but it's the only place where real success is actually possible.